Hey, my name is Colin Campbell. I'm a Spurs season ticket holder and I come from Drumahoe in Northern Ireland. And my partner in crime,
My name is Paul Galt, Nottingham Forest supporter. I'm speaking to you today from my grandson's bedroom in County Antrim on new equipment. So I hope everything goes well for our third episode of Separated by Water.
okay, well, on today's show, bit of a routine going here. We're going to look at some of the emerging issues coming from week 3 of the Premier League. We're going to look at our predictions and see how we're doing with the top 6 and bottom 3. We'll have a meeting called Sacked in the Morning, which is basically our fantasy league team to see how we're doing because we're criticizing others. We're open to criticizing ourselves. A wee section called Crossing the Pond, which we'll hope to feature in the future with others. I'll start talking about my journey and the forthcoming journey in particular to see Spurs versus Arsenal. We'll have a feature called Emerald Eye, and that should be interesting. And Note of Concern, and what was something to be concerned about. So, starting off, week 3, match day 3, emerging issues. Paul, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I followed, watched the Arsenal Brighton match, watched the Forest Wolves match, and dipped in and out other bits and pieces. So basically, the Arsenal Brighton match, it was going swimmingly well for Arsenal, 1-0 up. Declan Rice committed a second offence, tried to slow down play. It's debatable
No,
whether it was a free kick because the ball was moving. The ball was
free,
moving,
good referee.
but well, that's a Spurs supporter talking. The ball was moving. I personally don't think it should have been a free kick, but anyway, it was his second offence. I don't know when these Premiership players are going to learn to stop trying to stop play and playing these silly games. Ultimately, I think it cost them their game. It also means that, for your benefit, Declan Rice won't play in the North London Derby after the international break. We'll talk about the international break a wee bit more later on. So I think it lost them the game. It now gives Liverpool the momentum to stay up there beside Man City. They've dropped 2 points there that I feel they could have got if it hadn't been for the actions of Declan Rice. He's going to be missing from the Derby. How do you feel? Does that affect? Did you rate him? Do you rate him?
I mean, I read him. I'm not sure that he's £100 million. Who on earth is? Um, Arsenal fans noted that in the 2-2 draw last season at the Emirates, it was only after he was substituted that Spurs came more to the fore. I don't know. I'm glad he's not playing against us on Sunday week. Let me
Yeah,
put it that way.
yeah. So you do rate him
So
in some level.
I
Yeah,
read him.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure where I
yeah.
stand
You
on him.
can't not. No, I haven't seen him at West Ham. I don't think it's a job he does and a good job. He doesn't beat 11 players in the field and stick in the net, but the job he does is very, very good at. And I am quietly pleased that he will not be featuring in the North London Derby on Sunday week.
Yeah. Okay. Forest, an inevitability of everything again. Once again, we got off to a great start, 1-0 up. I think it was 30 seconds later we conceded a goal and controlled all of the game. We literally controlled the whole game. Um, uh, Following on from the uh, deadline, the transfer deadline, we've made some great signings. Jota Silva, I don't know if you've seen anything of him. I think he's a very exciting prospect for the future. For the Premiership, probably we won't keep him any more than 1 or 2 years. I think he's going to be an amazing prospect. Elliot Anderson, I have to confess, I knew nothing about Elliot Anderson while he was at Newcastle. I don't know why. He's just one of them players that passed me by. I knew nothing about him. But my God, he is fitting in very well in Nottingham Forest, and he's controlling that. I don't see him dropping his space anytime soon. Uh, Happy. We'll look at the league now in a minute or two. I'm happy that after 3 games we've got 5 points, five
Yeah.
valuable points. This time last year, after 3 games, we had no points. Some might say with 3 easy games to start us off, but there were 3 games that we vitally had to get points on the board to keep us there. I never thought I'd be saying we're above Spurs, and I don't say that in a mean way, Colin. I
No.
never thought we'd be above Chelsea. I never thought we'd be above Man United. And it's just, I don't know. It's the next 3 games will be more telling. Next game we have is against Liverpool. After what they've done to Man United, I'm not sure what they're going to do to us, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Yourself, did
Okay.
you take
Well,
in any matches?
yeah, I did. A couple of things I want to talk about. Not so much the ebb and flow of the games, just to talk about emerging issues. One that brings me no pleasure at all is what's happening to Everton. I heard they were 2-0 up. Thought, okay, they're going to get some points on the board. I couldn't believe it. Whenever the final score came through to me, I'm Everton. As I said last week, Everton are one of the old teams. They've had no luck, in my opinion. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and I don't see a way out of this. There's no transfer market. I think Sean Dyche is given the appearance of someone who's not really sure what to do because I think he has very few options. And I would be sad to say I take no pleasure in what's happening to them. That's one thing, but that emerging issue is I think that Everton are in for a long fight and in a worse position than they've been in previous seasons when they were fighting relegation. From my own point of view, Spurs, Man United, and Arsenal, and maybe same old already. From my own team, I could have written the script. And we're 4 points from 9, one fewer than you. Yeah,
Listen, I'll just put it up there. I'll just put up the top.
Okay.
I'll just put up the top. I'll have them there.
And maybe that's about where we are. But the defense, it doesn't work. I just have that feeling that when a team attacks, I could only listen to it on the radio live, and Spurs were doing lots of pressure. Yeah, of course they were in pretty football possession. If I hear the word possession again, it counts for nothing really, to me. And then all of a sudden a breakaway and Newcastle score. Oh God, right, okay. United, I don't know. I have many. Obviously, most of us have massive friends who are United fans. They seem to feel a little bit like me, a bit fatalistic. I saw some of that performance. I don't think it was good at all, sadly. Liverpool and City looked like they'll be disappearing over the hill, far away. Arsenal dropped 2 points. They dropped 2 points they really needed to get. And the North London derby in a week and a half's time already has an added significance for both teams. If Spurs lose, that's 4 from 12. That's not good. Look at the table, If they win and Arsenal lose, that's not good for them because they could potentially be 5 points behind the top 2. If they draw, that doesn't either of them any good, and that's probably the result we'll get. Okay. It is refreshing.
Can I just say there?
Yeah.
Can I just say I'm looking at the bottom of the league there, and there's a few surprise teams there. Man United being one, considering the money they spent in the last 3 years. I did say, I think it was last episode or the episode before, that I do think that his position is going to be under pressure. I don't think Sean Dyche. I think Everton will stick with Sean Dyche because of the condition the club's in, the new stadium, the takeover is not going through, or maybe it will. Who knows? So there's 2 that surprise me. Everton doesn't surprise me, but Man United surprised me there. Crystal Palace, always a top 10 club. Now I know we're only 3 games in. Only 3 games in that anything can change. But then you go to the top, and you look.
Well, you're really bringing us nicely into our predictions here, because when you look at the top, go ahead.
No, well, I just look. I see Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, Brentford. I didn't think Brentford would do as well without Ivan Toney, but they seem to be still scoring the goals, still being there. So it looks as if he's going to get the best out of the team no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it refreshing to see Brighton, even Newcastle and Brentford in the top 6, Bournemouth up there, Forest above, as you say, Spurs, Chelsea, and Man United? No, it's very, very, very early days. But all we are really talking about here is emerging issues. So therefore, we can only say what's emerged after 3 games. Brentford are playing well. Newcastle playing okay. Aston Villa, their big test was Arsenal in the field. Bournemouth, of course, I predicted them to go down. So they are defying expectations at the moment. Nottingham Forest are a little ahead of where both of us really had predicted them to be. Spurs are closer to where my prediction than yours, and certainly much closer to Tim's. But early days, I think for me, Crystal Palace's point at Chelsea was a relief because I was just afraid that Chelsea would start to, get on a roll far too early.
They probably will, Colin. And talking about Newcastle there, we had Newcastle in the cup in the middle of the week on Wednesday past, and if it had been a Premiership game, it would have finished a point each. It was a draw at full time. We lost in penalties. Don't want to go into the penalties. The good thing for me is we brought on. They played their top 11 more or less. We dropped 9 players or 10 players and played our new players, and we got to see what they can do, and there's great promise there. But Newcastle, I thought they were okay, better than they were last year possibly, but I don't think they've the depth and strength in their bench. I just don't think they have it there.
Okay, Newcastle were at Wembley 2 seasons ago and loved it. Like Spurs, they value Spurs should value the cups. I think they would like to be back again. I see them taking the League Cup, the Carroll Cup, seriously. I hope Spurs do also. But our predictions are probably running pretty close to home. We've got City, Liverpool, Arsenal in the top 4. My Man United predictions looking a bit precarious. But as we've said, there's time. There's time. Plenty will emerge between now and the last kick of the ball. Okay, which takes us to our own situation. We've been able to give opinions on the Premiership, managers, players, and officials, if you will. Takes us to our bit. Sacked in the morning. How are we doing in our own fantasy league?
Well, just looking at the graphics not so as big as the Premiership table to look at. But our guest last week, Tim Houston, has went out in front by a considerable distance. This is my first year, as I said. I've done Fantasy Premier League. I got caught very badly because Ivan Toney was in as my striker for the first 2 weeks and he never played. So I've been caught. You missed the first week, joined the league later on. But there are, there's everybody, Haaland. Anybody who's got Haaland or Salah seems to be doing well, seems to be getting the points. This man's not scoring goals for fun. He's scoring hat-tricks for fun at this stage.
I can't see either of us
You'll
there.
see our names now down at the bottom. Sorry?
I just see you. Oh, look. Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. So you're getting your excuses in already. You're getting your excuses in already. What I'll say is I've got
excuses in. I don't write them. I've remained in the same place as I was last week, but we've various teams. Beanie has disappeared down. McGill, Stephen has shot up a bit. Anyway, a lot of local competition to talk about there. The guys are all talking about whenever they're slagging one another. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see. I clearly am never going to be a football manager anyway.
No, well, I would rate us both as probably a little bit under pressure. Well, no contract extension and will not be sacked yet, early days, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so that's Fantasy League. We need to do better. Okay, next section I have is a little bit called My Journey Across the Pond. As you said, we're meant to be, we want to be of particular interest to people in Ireland, North and South who go over or to follow teams in England, most likely the Premiership. I'm going over on Sunday week to see Spurs play Arsenal. As you've already heard me say, I'm a season ticket holder. Am I looking forward to it? I'm not sure. Anyway, what's the journey like?
Who are you playing again? Sorry, who are you playing?
We play Arsenal.
Who are you playing? Sorry for interrupting you. Arsenal. Oh, right.
Yeah, on Sunday week, and so I need to be at the Belfast City Airport for about 5 o'clock, no later. It's about an hour and a half's journey down from Drumahoe. So I'm up about 3:15. Get 7 o'clock plane to Gatwick. From Gatwick to London Victoria Station, then up to the ground. We leave our bags there and then go to our hotel, the Kip in Camden. It's not a Kip, it's actually more about sleep than a Dawes House. Very, very good. Run by a group of French students. It's clean, nice bed, TV, Wi-Fi, and that's probably all we want. And coffee. And then back at 12, 10 past 12 actually on Monday. So yeah, it's not bad. It's tiring, I can tell you. At my age, it is tiring. There are a few drinks consumed, a few kebabs are probably consumed, and then really a lot of it depends on the result. For our own protection, emotional protection, we're always trying to maybe have something else that we're doing, particularly if the kickoff is a bit earlier that evening, that we can kind of look forward to, if all else fails. 3 years ago, we had a great result on the Wednesday and Thursday night, 3-0, and would ultimately qualify for the Champions League. Following season, we were beaten 2-0 when I spent a Sunday evening bored, unhappy, hungover in London in empty bars, and it was terrible. Wouldn't want to do that again. Are we valued over at the club? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I have a very good deal on my season ticket, and they do help out when we can't go, getting them sold on. So 10 out of 10 for all that. The locals, Spurs Ground being where it is, the locals are very friendly, glad to see us. We've built up a network of fans and friends, so we'll like it all. What I will do when we're away is I'll do a short video presentation to give you a feel for it. And what I would like you to do, any of you out there who do travel, call us, let us know what your experiences have been. I mean, one thing I think is a real pain in the neck is the sky scheduling, because it prevents you booking hotels and flights until nearer the match than we prefer, because it could move from a Saturday afternoon to God knows when, Friday night, Monday night, Saturday morning, Sunday, and it makes a world of difference. Okay, apart from that, in a week and a half's time, I hopefully will be showing a video with my smiling face. Who knows?
If you even just
Okay.
setting off in the dark, dreary morning, showing us what you go through on the way, just to leaving now at the airport,
Will
how
do.
busy at the airport, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the roads are empty largely, which is handy, and there's no speed cameras, hopefully, which is handy. And the car parking facilities are expensive in the airports, but they're quite good, and usually they recognise the number plating straight through. There's no moving about. I'm not carrying too much luggage, yeah. But it's a long couple of days, and really need to be getting sense of something out of it. Okay.
Perfect. We'll
Emerald Eye. Yeah, thank you. Moving on to Emerald Eye, really only could be one person, I think. Johnny Evans, Northern Ireland International, Manchester United, stalwart. He's decided to call time on his NI career, probably sad about that. I think he'd be irreplaceable, but I think we all understand, and he may be able to, extend his club career for another while. He started at Man U. He went to Royal Antwerp, the feeder club to United at that time. He then transferred to West Bromwich Albion. They went down. He moved to Leicester, did very well with them, won the FA Cup. And then when they went down, he seems to take teams down, back to United, and he's done okay. When he first joined United, he was substitute for Gerard Piqué, who was the Barcelona hero. And I mention that because he's of a status and a standard that I don't think United have at the minute. But good luck for the future, Johnny. We're very grateful for everything you've done. Nice guys can be heroes, and I think he's both of those. Okay.
Yeah. I was just looking at that off the back of that. He was an academy player with Man United, and I'd done a wee bit of digging, and I stand to be corrected. And if MD knows any different, I can, as far as I can see, there's no Northern Irish or Irish players in the Man United makeup, and that's a very strange thing, because there always was a Northern Ireland connection with Man United, and there's nobody there. We have a comment. That'll just show you there. Jack Neal, Johnny Evans, GAWA legend. I don't know what GAWA stands for.
Green and
Do you know?
White Army. Green and White Army.
All right. Ah, yeah. Okay, for the
You've been in
Northern
court
Irish.
too long.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it'd be a sad loss. He's also left. He's been released by Man United as well. I don't know. Is he playing somewhere else?
Well, I hope he does, because I think he's a good player. Now, admittedly, I wouldn't let him take a penalty. He was probably humorously referred to by some United fans as Johnny Heavens after his kick over the bar in the Community Shield, but we'll forgive him for that. Yeah, Green and White Army.
It's up there with the Wanley's from Wednesday night. I think it's still in the air. It hasn't landed, or the closest it's going to land is Rose Ed. You know.
Okay, note of concern. I've won this week, so Paul, you're not the only disgruntled beast on this earth. Mine is kind of a threefold. I'd read recently that, as I firmly believe, fans of a certain club were prevented from entering the ground because they were wearing fake jerseys, fake tops, fake shirts, whatever you want to call them. They were jerseys in my day, yeah. How they knew they were fake? Probably, obviously. But it made me think about A, why? And B, why are we doing that? You know, for me, my team are sponsored by Nike or Nike, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same game. The shirts are prohibitively expensive, in my opinion. And like I pound or two to spend on them, and often do. But I do feel sorry for families who are trying to buy these. The other part of it is that they bring about 3 out a year. There's the home kit, the away kit, so-called, and the third strip. You know, it's relentless. Training kits and so on. Now, you'd say, well, if you don't want them, don't buy them. And I take that point. But most people who are affiliated to a team want to wear something. I have that one on today, which is a T-shirt from the club itself. It's top notch for merchandise. And it's actually quite good and well priced. So I suppose we can do that. My concern is the cost. And I say that the cost is driving people to buy fakes. So don't be blaming them. They want to have the team colours on, but it may be very difficult for them to spend £80, whatever it is, on a jersey, particularly if they're trying to cater for a family. I know the fake industry is immense, and I do admit to having one or two of them myself. Bought one in Hong Kong a lot of years ago, and it was Spurs had just gone from Under Armour to Nike. They had a wall-to-wall Under Armour kit, so I asked him about the Nike one. He looked at me. All of a sudden, the light bulb went on. He went and got a large box, ripped it open with a samurai sword, and out fell these light blue Tottenham Hotspur fake Nike kits. I said, "New kit." So of course I bought one. I bought shorts, which I've never worn, thankfully. But so I've fallen into that too. Are they as good as the real thing? Absolutely not. They're not. They wash out. The colors aren't the same. And they are, you know, they're discerning. I can certainly tell what they are. I think we're being driven that way. So what's my solution? There are two, possibly. One would be reduce the price to closer to what people feel they can afford. Never going to happen. The other one might be to only bring one new kit out per year. So year one, it's a home strip. Year two, an away strip. Year three, the third strip, if you wish. So people can, you know, kind of keep up. I mean, the change in the jerseys nowadays are so minimal anyway. So that's my concern for today. Thank you.
Okay, well, what I might do for next week is just put up a list of the cost of each premiership jersey and see who are the most expensive and do a bit of research on that. Just on the jerseys, whenever you were chatting about planning what we were doing, I looked at it. I was watching the games over the weekend, and you know that there's 10 of the teams have betting companies on the front of their shirts. And then I didn't realize, but I understand that there's a ban coming out that this is the penultimate year that they're going to have that. Next year, it's gone. So my curiosity is who's going to fill them spots, because Forest, the first year they come up, didn't have a sponsor on the front of their shirt. I think that they didn't really want to go with a gambling company. They ended up they did, but it's
Yeah.
I just wonder. I just worry. You know, it's like the Formula One where they took alcohol and took tobacco off
Well, that's what's
uh,
happening.
the
No.
yeah. So that's got to be put
Um,
off as well.
well, the thing is, and I'm not. It sounds like I'm making a value judgment. I'm trying not to. I think the tobacco advertising was removed across the board. And snooker suffered quite a lot from that. Uh, and then alcohol, I think, is gone. I can't remember. Well, Spurs were Holston for a long time. Everton were Chang beer. Had a bottle of it once, never again.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Next could be the gambling companies. And I know that Alistair Campbell, the podcaster, and had worked with Tony Blair, had said he thought in many ways the gambling advertising was the most insidious because it's like a bottomless pit for people's money.
Yeah.
And it's all the wall gambling. And they've managed to make themselves very respectable because they're almost celebrities on the radio and they're on giving their tips and so on and so forth. When I was a young boy, my grandfather kind of slid round the corner to do a bet and come back, and nobody really mentioned what he had done. And then what will come? What will come next? Will it be fatty foods or sugary foods? Will McDonald's be? We'll have to find out where we'll go because clubs do need income from advertising. It's a fact of life. And how precious can we be? What happens if an oil company wants to sponsor somebody? What happens then? So yeah,
Uh,
food for thought, Paul.
it's a
Have a
can of
look into
worms.
that.
It's a can of worms. Yeah.
We'll see where we'll go.
With another
Okay.
comment there, Colin, to just put it up on the screen, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Jack tells us that the Manchester United authentic kit is £110 for the top. Wow. I think the
Wow.
Forest, I'll stand corrected. I'll stand corrected this, and I think that the Nottingham Forest one is 75, 70. I don't think it's any more than 80. But
Who makes
that's
Forest here? Who are they? Are
Adidas.
they?
We done a deal with
Are they?
Adidas the second season up in the Premiership. We went with Adidas.
Right. Okay.
Um,
They're the big
so
one. Adidas and Nike and Puma do Man City and a few others. Yeah. They're probably all. It's like a cartel. They're probably in around the same price range. And then I even saw in the Spurs one the kit for men, and then the elite jersey, whatever the hell that is. It's dearer, certainly
yeah.
dearer. Probably better quality or sticks to the body, but I don't really know. But anyway, yeah, well, maybe look into that. So really,
Colin,
in many ways, that yes,
can I just say there that thank you for the comments from Jack. Anybody who's listening, please stick your comments up. We'll talk about them as we're going along. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share it, and tell your friends about it. And bit by bit, we were up to 5 years there at one stage. I know it's not massive, but we're only doing this for our third episode. I hope you're enjoying it. We certainly enjoy your company. And yeah, onwards and upwards. And please send us in your comments, negative or positive. Send them into us. So back over to you, Colin.
yeah. Okay, well, really, we're going to do a podcast this week, despite it being international break. Gives you an opportunity to talk about your Forest player while it gets on. Any other issues that emerge, and we'll probably preview week ahead. Most people are sorry, like anyone I know. I love the international tournaments, but I really hate the international break weekends. That's just me. So we'll get our way through them, and hopefully we'll see you all next Tuesday for separated
Can I just
water.
say before we go, Colin? Can I just say before we go, this is the first time that I've went an international break in 27 years. The last international we had for Nottingham Forest was Stuart Pearce. So I will be looking at it. I totally agree with you. International break comes up, and I'm like, no, I want to keep on going with the Premiership. It's good. I want to keep it going. So 27 years, Morgan Gibbs White. Maybe if Gareth Southgate had the braveness to pick him, maybe they'd have won the Euros. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to
Yeah,
fit in. You think
obviously.
Well,
if he had half the impact Stuart Pearce had, if he had half the impact Stuart Pearce had, he will be some player.
Okay, well, thanks for that. I just wanted to say that before we go.
Sure, no, glad you did. Well, I think that's everything we wanted to covered. And I'll see you next week prior to the North London Derby, so I might still be in decent form. Okay, thank you very much. Stick together.
Thanks for everybody for listening in, and send us your comments, even outside the episode, and we'll talk about them next week. Thank you very much for watching.